It's your boy Nanguru in the house, back with another Arsenal news episode where, ladies and gentlemen, by the time this video hits you, of course, we're going to be discussing about the whole transfer news. What's been hitting Arsenal, we're going to talk about it, so stay tuned for that. And of course, if you seek daily Arsenal content, consider subscribing. So the first thing that we have for you guys is about, according to Telefootball and Sam JD, the considerable size of the likely fee, which would be at least £20 million, means the expectation is that Willock will depart, but it might be worth waiting until later in the window for any deal to be sanctioned. It still remains highly unlikely that the club would decide to offer another lucrative contract to Lacazette or not. So let's see where that will end up right now, but for now it does not look like it is happening. So according to Fabrizio Romano, Arsenal have been working since March to extend Emil Smith-Rowe's contract. There is optimism that an agreement will be reached soon. The player is happy to stay. So talking about Ian Wright says, I don't think we should be signing Ceballos. I don't think he's what we need now. I think we've got young players coming through who should get an opportunity in front of Ceballos. If he's going to do anything to stay at Arsenal, it would have been seen already by now. Odegaard is somebody who I'd like to see sign, but at the same time, the people who are going to oversee who's coming in and who's going out are the same people who signed Willian. Are we going to give those people the power to try to do this overhaul? I don't trust them. As much as the manager is passionate and the players are working hard, I'm not sure I trust the people in charge to try and make stuff happen in the summer to oversee that job. I don't see them doing it. So, yep. Sharp words. I wouldn't say harsh words. I would say sharp words from the main guy, and I love him. I love him since this whole the ESL, European Super League thing was the talk of the town. Yeah, I love what Ian Wright is actually coming up with. So moving on, Ashley Cole on Tierney says when he's in the team, they are a different team. He's willing to defend. He's that kind of leader and warrior they need in this team. I mean, 100%, of course. Why not? Why not? Yeah. Moving on. So, if you don't know who Luis Campos is, I'm going to give you a brief update about him. But it looks like he has attracted interest from the likes of Juventus, Manchester United, and Arsenal. Although Sky Sport understand that Arsenal are not recruiting for a sporting director, with Edu and Mikel Arteta already working on plans for the summer transfer window. But did you know that as sporting director at Monaco, Campos made over £500 million in the transfer market in 4 years on deals for the likes of Kylian Mbappe, Thomas Lemar, Fabinho, James Rodriguez and Bernardo Silva. So former Lille sporting director Luis Campos, who has been dubbed the Wizard of Capital Gains, has been targeted by a host of clubs across Europe keen to tap into the Portuguese talent for footballing alchemy. Now he helped transform Lille into a team now on the verge of winning the La Ligue 1 title. They're currently 3 points clear of Paris Saint-Germain with 2 games to go. A free agent after leaving Lille in December, Campos has attracted interest from the likes of a lot of clubs. But what did he do? Well, Luis Campos, this is the player deals that he's actually done. Kylian Mbappe, he got him for free. Lemar for free. Fabinho free. Bakayoko free. Gabriel free. Anthony Martial, £4 million. Nicolas Pepe, Benjamin Mendy, Bernardo Silva, Victor Osimhen, James Rodriguez. So you can see the quality that he's actually bought in. Unreal, man. Victor Osimhen was the perfect specimen, and he's actually running riot for Napoli. So you can see what he actually brings up, and that's the whole reason why Arsenal have also been linked with him for some weird reasons. I don't know why, because we know that Edu Gaspar is and Mikel. I don't know about Mikel Arteta how long will he stay at Arsenal, but Edu is definitely here to stay, I guess. So I don't think so. There's something that is going to happen which is going to go in a wrong direction at the moment. So Luis Campos is a guy that is being watched out by a lot of clubs. I mean, of course, the Wizard of Capital Gains, who brings titles, could be on his way to England, and several Premier League teams have already made it clear that they'd like it to be at their club. One look at his record, and supporters of any club would probably agree that he is the main guy. He could definitely turn around Manchester United, anyone for that matter right now. So moving on, Arsenal have provided the blueprint to stopping Chelsea star from Leicester City and Manchester City. According to Jamie Redknapp, he believes that Arsenal have defended Mason Mount to a T on Wednesday night. Now, I mean, this is what he had to say about that. He says, Mason Mount, I have to say, I think Arsenal did a really good job on him today. They stopped him having an influence. They never really let him get on the ball, even when he played deeper. Tuchel tried to make that change by taking off young Billy Gilmore, but that did not really make much of a difference either. Also, Jamie Redknapp had some worthy advice or some praise. He highlights the key difference between Smith Rowe and Aubameyang after the Arsenal win. He says he believes that Emil Smith Rowe deserved the Man of the Match award for the game against Chelsea at the Bridge. He says, I thought Smith Rowe was excellent today. He did not get Man of the Match, but I thought he was the best player on the pitch. Everything he did it with a purpose. He played in a team that sat back and basically defended for the whole game. 32% possession, but I thought he was exceptional, and he'd been like that all season, really. And talking about the Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, he says Aubameyang has ended up playing most of his football in the final third of his own half. He's not doing anything with any purpose. You could see his frustration when he came off. I do not like how he reacted because his team are still winning 1-0. It's not an easy match, but they ground out a result, and it does take time. The performances are not good enough from Arsenal's point of view. But I feel bad saying it because they picked up a crucial 3 points. Of course, I mean, you picked up 3 points. Like, seriously, why would you cry about it anymore? Come on, Pierre, come on. I know you're frustrated about it, bro, but you know it's a team effort, right? You're the Capitan. I mean, come on. So, leaked images of Gabriel Martinelli and Gabriel Magalhaes in Arsenal's away kit for the next season. I think it's simply elegant. It's simple, elegant, and brings out the perfect, nifty finish on the... I like it. I like it. I mean, not to the extent that I would want to go and buy it right out. I mean, I could get the replica of it. But still, let's see. I'm pretty much sure a lot of also fans who would go and get it done. But it really looks nifty. It's very slick. It's simple. Very plain design. Brings back the very old memories. I mean, the old Gooners from the 70s and 80s would dig that crest. I dig it because it's much better than the Arsenal crest right now. But what a beautiful crest that is. I mean, I love it. I love it. It's just too good. It's really good. Loved it to the core, actually. And oh, Gabi, you look so handsome in any goddamn Arsenal kit, bruh. I hope he gets more game time, man. I am dying to see him play regular football, man, for Arsenal. Moving on, so it looks like Arsenal, if they finish in 7th, they would most likely qualify for the inaugural edition of the European Conference League, Europa Conference League, actually. What is this shit? Like, what is this? So the ECL will run alongside the Champions League and the Europa League. It is designed to let even more clubs across the continent experience European football. Whichever English teams qualify will enter at the playoff round before a familiar-looking group stage. The competition will be held on Thursday nights throughout the season, culminating in a final on May 25th, 2022 in Albania. So Arsenal have to finish 7th, but that also tells me that they've got to finish above Tottenham, Everton, and of course the one who have a lot of fixtures left, Aston Villa. So it's tough. It's very tough to finish above them, but yeah, let's see where we'll end up. Yeah, I'm still looking at Everton, that they literally bottled the whole league in the second half. I mean, not even super attractive football, but yeah. Anyways, so Manchester United are interested in a shock transfer for Ainsley Maitland-Niles, according to reports. The Arsenal Academy graduate has spent the second half of this season on loan at West Bromwich Albion, and despite Baggies getting relegated, the England international impressed with his performances under Sam Allardyce. According to the Daily Mail, the Red Devils are considering an approach to Arsenal when he returns to his parent club. However, the report adds they would face competition from 3 other Premier League sides: Everton, Leeds, and Southampton. So, big up, but could be a big letdown as well. So, as we speak, so the transfer rumor of the day, ladies and gentlemen, as we know that we're getting linked with a lot of players. Another player we've been linked with him in the past, but here we go. Abdallah Sima just doesn't seem to get off. Yeah. Again, the transfer rumor of Abdallah Sima to Arsenal, according to Mirror, comes in. The forward apparently made an impression when he faced the Gunners in the Europa League. Manchester United and Arsenal will battle for 19-year-old Senegalese prospect Abdallah Sima, who has burst onto the radar of English clubs out of relative obscurity in his first senior campaign with Sparta Prague. Slavia Prague, what? According to the Mirror. Slavia Prague, how can this... Oh my god, this embarrassment. Mirror is an embarrassment. So the striker has been rated at £25 million, which is 29 million euros, amid a season in which he has scored 15 goals in all competitions, including 4 in the Europa League. Yeah, he was really beast then. He netted versus Leicester in the round of 32 before playing 69 minutes against Arsenal in the quarterfinals without finding a breakthrough. So yeah. That's about Abdallah Sima. So With this, I will end up this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you see daily Arsenal content, best place to be. If you want to be a part of my live stream, follow me on Instagram and definitely send me a DM there. Cheers.